So here we are, Victoria here. Thanks for joining us. I've got my lovely cousin Helen joining me today for a lovely, well, hopefully a lovely core therapy treatment. And Helen has been to me a few times before, always for core therapy.
I did have a course last year, I think it was, five or six treatments with you.
Yeah. And you're a massage therapist yourself, yeah, and a nurse and a lecturer, and you run a cafe.
I do.
Yeah, lots of different aspects to your life. And what are you here for today?
Well, I think over the winter, particularly, I've felt that my diet and exercise has not been as good as it should have been, and there's been quite a lot of issues in my family life, in my personal life, that have drained me. So I feel I need realigning, basically.
Okay. So I know immediately what I'm going to check for the various things that Helen's just mentioned. And anything physical you want me to look out for?
Well, you already know that I have some health issues, so obviously those are still an ongoing concern.
Okay, all right, I'll look for that. And how are you sleeping at the moment?
I'm actually sleeping well, better than I have done. Yes, I'm sleeping well.
Oh, good. That's always a good sign. It's something I always ask. Are you getting any headaches?
No.
Great.
No headache.
You in any pain?
No, just general joint stiffness sometimes in the morning, but I'm
Okay.
getting on a bit now.
Yeah, okay, that's all right. But I always say, don't give in to that. There's always something you can do. Whether it's using essential oils or coming for a regular treatment. Yeah, so there's always something you can do. Lovely. So I look forward to treating you.
Thank you.
Okay, so as you know, we're going to start off with some kinesiology muscle testing. So can you give me this arm nice and straight? Raise the whole arm. I'm going to push here and you're going to hold up nice and firm. Stop me pushing and hold. Okay. Can you raise this arm? I'm going to push and hold. Okay. Can you raise a leg? I'm going to push and hold. And the other leg and hold. Great, okay. Let's do two together, arm and leg. That's great. I'm going to push with both and hold. Okay. And the other side and hold. Okay. I'm not completely convinced. I'm just seeing if there is something stopping them being rock solid. So we're going to push again and hold. That's better. I think you're dehydrated. We've just had a cup of tea, haven't we? And it probably didn't give you hydration. So if you'd like to sit up. Have a nice glass of water. And it's amazing how much dehydration can have an immediate effect on the muscles. They will not retain strength if they're dehydrated, and yet once hydrated, instantly they go strong. You had enough? Yeah. Okay, so lie down again. Let's just redo those tests. So arm and leg together and hold. Better. Same this side and hold. Can you see the difference in them? So they were slightly squashy before, both dropped a little like they were on a sponge. Okay, so I'm just going to do this one again and hold. No, that's good. And hold. Slightly. So I'm just going to have a little feel. Relax. Oh, is that sore? No? Okay. How about there? Is that sore at all? Yeah. Just going to agitate it and then retest and hold. Better. I'm just going to have a little feel deeper in, more towards the spine, the lumbar than the sacrum. Okay, same again and hold. Oh yeah, yeah. So I think we've got somewhere, but it's not too bad because it wasn't too bad to start off with. I am being picky. So let's carry on. I'm going to use this arm and this leg and hold. Brilliant. Cross the body and hold. Okay, so it's dropping. So this is called a contralateral test. And if it fails one-sided, unilaterally, then it tells us that it's a joint. So I'm going to check all the joints. If it was both contralaterals, it would tell me it's the jaw. So jaw seems to be okay. So with this hand, can you touch your little finger to your thumb? I'm going to try and pull them apart. Let's see how this is. And hold. Yeah, there's a little shift there. So just give me a whole arm instead. Nice, strong, long arm. I'm going to push here and hold. Okay, slight waving. Let's try that again and hold. No, it's fine. Elbow and hold. Oh, it's slightly dipping, so maybe something with that left elbow. Oh, click, click. Same again, and hold. No, that's okay, even though it's clicking. And up and hold. Knee and hold. Oh, dipping. So knee, right knee, left elbow, and hold. Judgery. Okay, so we're just going to recheck a few of those in detail. Going to have a look at the left elbow and hold. That's good. And hold. Good. Check the inside at the lymph and hold. Good. Check round the back underneath the elbow and hold. Slightly, not too much of a problem. Okay, then look at this knee and hold. Good. And hold. Yeah, so it's a twisting under in and hold. Yeah. And hold. Yeah, I think the knee's coming up a little bit. And hold. Yeah, can you feel that? It's not rocks. What was that from? Oh, you fell on your knee. So do you feel it when you're on walks or climbing hills or? Okay, all right. Well, there's something I can do with that, and the ones I've done tend to help. So let's see how that goes. So I'm just going to have a look at the ankle. I'm just going to turn your foot in. Oh, a couple of clicks. And hold. Okay. Turning it out. Oh, you feel those clicks. And hold. Yeah. I'm just going to raise it up and relax it. And hold. All right. And pushing it down. Does that hurt? No? And hold. Good, okay. So it was just the clickiness when I was turning it left and right. Can you bend your knees? Can you raise your head off the pillow? And give me your arm again. I'm going to push here and hold. Okay. Put your head back down and tilt your knees over one way. Turn your head this way and eyes go up to the corner. Raise your arm. I'm going to push and hold. Okay. So turning your head, eyes go up. And knees to me. That's lovely. I'm going to push and hold. Yeah, do you know, I could feel that was going to fail. Sometimes I can tell before you do it. Could you tell before you did it? Yeah. Everything back down and straight again. Lovely. So we're just doing something at the moment called a pitch, roll and yaw. I'm going to push here and hold. Okay, not too bad. I'm twisting you and hold. Good, okay. So I'm just going to write down which. So pitch, roll and yaw is the walking mechanism. Every part of our twisting that we do as we walk. The pitch is the one that wasn't happy at the start, which is when you have your knees up and you've just got your head up straight. Pitch is all about that forward movement to get us walking in the first place, where we become off balance in order to shift forwards, or the getting out of a chair. It's what I call the jaw jut, when you have to do that to be able to move yourself forward out of a chair. And then the roll is when one shoulder and the opposite hip roll inwards as we're walking. And while we're doing that, the opposite shoulder, opposite hip are yawing, Y-A-W, outwards. So I equate it to a plane, being able to turn in any possible direction, including like that. And that's what we're doing when we're walking. So it's really clever, the kinesiology works out which part of walking you're happy, your body is or isn't happy. Okay, now this is one I wanted to test definitely. So I'm just trying to move your arm like that. Is it comfortable like that? So I'm just turning it so that the palm is facing outwards, the shoulder drop down. So you're going to want to, that's it, tuck your arm in, and I'm going to want to pull your arm away. So tuck in and hold. Okay, so there's some give there. Let's just see what this one does. So that's it. I'm going to try and pull away. You're going to tuck in and hold. Okay, so it's actually stronger on your left than your right, but both could be stronger. So I'm just going to have a little feel of T5, T6 in your thoracics. Yeah. So I've got one here. To me it feels solid, like it's joined onto the vertebra next to it. And it's not giving. So I'm just going to come round and feel the other side. And relax. It's not as bad on this side. Still sore, but not as bad. Yeah. So this was the arm that wasn't as strong. This one was stronger, and that tells me that it's more of a what we call subluxation, which means that the vertebra is slightly one way out of its normal line of alignment, rather than fixed or fixated to the vertebra next to it. So that's why it was sore on this side, because it's moving this way and it shouldn't be. So I'll definitely work on that. There's lots of ways of getting that back. Cupping is one of those, but Tuina and wing stretches would do it as well. Okay, so we've done knees, ankles. I'm going to have a look at the hips now. Now I'm just going to have a little look and feel of your hips. Just the alignment. They don't look too bad. If anything, just from the look of it, it looks like your left is higher than your right by 1.5 centimeters, something like that. So I'm just going to check that out. Can you raise your arm again and hold? Good. And again and hold. Oh, let's do that one again. And hold. Good, okay. And hold. When I just held you then, did you feel a click inside this hip? No? Okay. Well, that feels solid. And hold. Yeah, left hip. The others are okay. And hold. Yeah, so it's actually your hip points rather than a misorientation. And even when I checked to see if your pelvic girdle is intact and holding itself together, which tells me a lot about the pubis symphysis and the sacrum at the back, that passed. So it's more the hip points. Is there any soreness here?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah? Okay. So I've got a note here to check your quadratus lumborum. So can you hold the sides of the couch? Yeah. I'm going to take your legs over to one direction, and then I'm going to try and move them on the couch, cross back to the middle again, and you're going to keep them out here and hold. Okay. Same with the other one. I'm going to try and bring them back to the center and hold. Okay, so that was really hard to do, wasn't it? Yeah. So for some people, it's difficult to try and work out which muscles to use to hold the legs out there. It's not something you'd think we'd do in normal life. I mean, we must use that muscle, but I wouldn't know when. But if it's a bilateral failure and both sides could be stronger, and we'll test it again at the end, so it'd be really interesting to see at the end of the treatment. It leads me to the ICV, to the iliosacral valve. So can I have a little look at your tummy? Would that be all right? Yeah. So just having a look here. So this is lower to central right side. And if I was to draw a line between the top of the hip point and your tummy button, it's about halfway. Obviously it's different for all of us. And in age, the tummy organs and soft fascia drop, don't they? You must know that from nursing. And I suppose there's muscle atrophy, not holding everything up. But how does that feel? Is that a little bit sensitive? Yeah. Are you okay? Sometimes it makes us feel a bit sick, doesn't it? Okay.
Just there, it's catching. There.
On the lower?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so can you put of this hand 2 fingers where my 2 fingers are? That's it. Just pokey into there. Is that all right? And then raise this arm for me again. I'm going to push here and hold. Yeah. So you can feel that. That's quite a weak test. So tummy needs looking at. But there's lots of different ways I could treat this, because I know that I would like to treat your back, maybe with cupping as well. So let's see, because cupping actually helps digestively as well. So can you put a whole flat hand of your left hand over here and raise your arm and hold? Oh, you see, that's strong. So that's good. And then ends of fingers like that. Yeah. Over here. Not pokey fingers, but ends of... Yeah, that's it. Raise your arm and hold. Okay, slightly. And now pokey fingers in there. How does that feel there? Yeah. And I'm going to push and hold. Okay, it's giving a little. So ends of fingers like that. Yeah, there. Yeah. And hold. Yeah, it's giving a little. And again, the same thing again, just there. Yeah, and hold. Oh, that's good. And now you're going to dive in to the side squashy bit of you there. That all right there? And hold. That's all right. Pokey fingers, or 2 fingers, let's say, in there. Yeah, that's another valve. You got that? And hold. Good. Okay, pokey fingers again. About 1 inch below your tummy button, about there. This is the Ren. And hold. Oh, that's strong. Must be that meditation you did the other day. Right, you can relax that hand. Arm up again and hold. Okay. Same again and hold. Okay. So, I don't tend to say what body parts it is while I'm testing them or just before, because I think sometimes psychologically you might then have a bearing on the result of the test. But I can tell you now. So the ICV came up, liver was strong, gallbladder slightly, AP, which is anxiety point, slightly, stomach was strong, spleen was strong, which is good, Houston valve, like the iliosacral valve, was also needing a bit of TLC. Ren was strong, and then when I tested the kidneys and adrenals, both of them need a little bit of help. So I would like to give you an Anmo Fu Abdominal massage, if that's okay. So I'm going to get some tissue for you to put round your clothing. So if you just pulled your waistband down slightly so I've got access to your full tummy, and then raise your top so I've got access again, and tuck the tissue around the base of your top. Now I've got some oil heating, and I'm going to test you for which essential oil might be good for you today. All depends what's causing the tummy, really. So I've got a few essential oils here. So can you hold with this hand the essential oil so it touches your skin over here, there, yeah, and then raise your arm and hold. No, that's a no. And the next one, and hold. No. Okay, I'm getting an idea of what you might want. And hold. Not great. Okay, we'll get there. And hold. Yeah, better. I'd like better than that, but better. And hold. Yeah, okay, right. And hold. Okay, we're getting better and better. I'm just going to test another couple. So the no's so far, if you're interested, are rose, clary sage, bergamot, and Roman chamomile. Okay, and hold. And hold. And hold. Better. Last one. And hold. Yeah. Okay, so I think we're going for ginger and frankincense. They sound good. So interesting. You probably know anyway. What's ginger good for? Digestion, immunity. It's also good for muscles. It's really good to help stimulate the circulation to the muscles. So things like arthritis, good for circulation, getting the blood through, removing blockages. And frankincense? Ah, okay, it's a lovely one. So it's really good for agitation because it just calms and soothes. As we know, it's associated with churches, and it's a resin from a tree, so it has this beautiful spiritual quality as well. It's also used in a lot of preparations for aging because it's really good anti-aging, so it's in a lot of skin, body, hair preparations. Definitely used in diffusers and room scents quite a lot, and perfumes. Yeah. Oh, it's nice and warm. Okay, so I'm just introducing. Ooh, you ticklish. I don't want to tickle you. I had a little 9-year-old boy to me yesterday. gorgeous little lad, first treatment. And I wasn't doing an Anmo Fu, I wasn't doing a abdominal massage, but I think I was working on his feet, because he had clicky feet. And he was giggling and he was lying there trying not to laugh and screwing his face up. It was so funny. But I'm not trying to tickle you, and I was trying to be sort of not wet lettuce, as I call it, just sort of practical. But it helped. He went out much better. Oh, that smells amazing. Can you smell that? Okay, so this is a traditional, centuries-old Chinese massage called an Anmo Fu. It's a deep abdominal massage where we're clearing the lymph in the correct direction, boosting the circulation, but also working on the correct direction for the digestive system. So this is the small intestine, the very long small intestine that scoops around everywhere within the abdominal cavity, but also then the large intestine that looks like an upside down horseshoe. But as a therapist, we're also looking for any signs of tightness, blockages, stagnation, as the Chinese would call it, in the abdominal cavity. So I'm just working now on the liver, which actually the liver was great earlier. That's a really good sign. What's your diet like? Do you do things to help your liver? And
trying to, yes, reduce the amount of carbohydrate actually.
Oh yes, I remember you saying that. So
But it made me feel quite unwell, so I've introduced a little bit more carbohydrate back in.
yeah, do you mean like fibre? What about fibre?
Yeah, fibre was an issue.
Yeah, yeah.
But also I try, everything's fresh.
Good, okay. Oh, very good. That's amazing. That's quite something to be able to say that, because I bet that's hard in today's modern world, isn't it, not to have anything processed. Are you a good cook?
Well, I'm a home cook.
Oh, good. You're a good cook then. So something that I've been doing for the liver, not that you need to be doing this, but the viewers might want to know, is having a self-juiced celery stalk. I say stalk, no, that like the whole crown of a celery every day, every morning. So a whole crown juiced, and then just drink it before eating or drinking anything else. And that's supposed to really help the liver detox, because even if we don't think that we have issues with our liver, no symptoms, no genetic or family issues going back, our livers do have to cope with such a lot, even if it's just pollution. So yeah, it's really nice to be able to cleanse that liver. And I quite like the taste of celery juice. Some people, I know someone who has had to do this celery juicing in order for weight loss, and it's really worked, but she doesn't like the taste of celery. I think she has to hold her nose to drink it. So I can feel tightness here. So this is in the area of the ICV, the iliosacral valve. Whereas the rest, these came up trumps earlier. So this is the stomach organ. The spleen is around here, which filters and makes our blood, makes new blood cells. And this is quite tight here. How does that feel? It's not too bad, it's moving, but it just shows that I'm glad I'm doing this treatment, that I think it needed it. So this area here, the AP, this is an interesting place. So you do meditation things, you probably know about the chakras, don't you? So do you know about the solar plexus? So the solar plexus is in this vicinity, in the lower the upper abdomen. So yeah, solar plexus is one of the largest of the chakras. Beautiful yellow golden light. Relates to our self-confidence and self-esteem. What else do you relate it to?
Also self-worth, isn't it?
Self-worth.
How you see yourself in the world.
That's right, yeah, and contentment. Yeah. So in Chinese terms, this area here, the AP, in terms of acupuncture or acupressure, relates to that solar plexus. Very similar values. Yeah. So I'm just going around it in the correct direction. A little hand cupping. Smells lovely. Can you still smell it? Yeah. So ginger and frankincense. I mean, they're both base notes. So quite heady oils, really, because but they will last with you for a long time. That's a good thing about base notes. They're not volatile or as volatile as top and middle, so they'll stay with you for a long time and infuse through the skin into the abdominal cavity, which is great. You want them working there. Yeah. And now working up, the wrong way up the colon. And the right way. A little agitation up the wrong way and encouraging the right direction. And coming round the transverse colon, the wrong way. Seeing what I can feel and smoothing the right way. Lovely. Okay. It's talking to me now. That's good. See, I see tummy rumbles, and I know you'll probably not, but most people get really embarrassed about tummy rumbles when you're massaging people. Do people say, "Oh no, my tummy's going"?
It's a sign that you're relaxed.
It's a sign they're relaxed, which is a great compliment to you as a therapist. But also, it is a sign that the treatment is working, because the muscles are letting go, and the treatment is allowing for the digestion to do what it's supposed to do. Great. So this is nice. It's a route around to see what the organs are doing, using the finger tips and the finger pads to work into all the different areas of the abdominal cavity, looking for any pockets of gas or soft fascia or blockage, sometimes tightness and tension in the muscle. And I'm actually going in the correct direction, but with my fingers going in the wrong direction, as it were. So they're doing loops within the large loop. That's it, especially over here. Okay, so this is a good time now. Can you give me 3 nice long breaths? just encouraging the correct direction for the valve. So what this does is it opens the valve. Therefore, if it's held open and blocked open, or whether it's held closed, like locked, then it will sort the issue out, whatever it is. The same as if it's twisted, so there can be torsion in the ICV. Is this feeling okay? Feel better than it did earlier? Yeah. So can we do 3 deep breaths again for the Houston valve? Oh, the sun's coming out. Hello, tummy. That's good. So that didn't feel as bad as the other side or as earlier. That feels quite soft there. That feel alright to you? Yeah? Okay. Even though I'm being quite deep. Okay. So just one more go round just to give a final check. Make sure it's all okay. Lovely. Feels really good. Is it really interesting? What we do with Anmo Fu is we repeat the same series of techniques 3 times. So the first time we notice all the tightness and tension and think, right, need to go back there and try and loosen it, coax it, encourage it just to relax and let go. And then the second time normally feels a little bit better, but by the third time, which is what I'm doing now, it just feels great. There's no tightness. Amazing how quickly the treatment works. That's great. Especially opening the ICV, which is something you can do for yourself as well. So 3 deep breaths, so it's halfway between the tummy button and that hip point there. You can feel about here, go in deep, and then 3 deep breaths, and after the third, pull this way towards the hip point because it's at that angle. I mean, as I say, it's in a slightly different place for all of us. Yours might be slightly lower, but you'll get to know where it is. So that feeling that you said earlier, you could feel it and it sort of felt there. I mean, doesn't feel tense there at all now. That's in the same place that you mentioned earlier. But also, it's really healthy for us, any of us, whether we've got issues with the ICV or not, to just know our ICV and be in contact with it. And when we're in the shower, we've got access to it, you know, whether we've got oil on our hands or not, just to get to know it, you know, take ownership of our own body and love it and say, you know, I know about you. I know you're there. I know where you are. I know what function you do. The valve between the small intestine and the large intestine, really important valve. And I've got your back. I'm going to look after you. And every day, just as I'm doing now, just a little massage. You don't need to know how to open it if you don't want to. Just massaging it like this. You know, even when you're driving along in the car or on the phone or doing your teeth with your other hand, you could be massaging your ICV. And it's nice to sort of associate it with something like doing your teeth, because then you'll get into a habit of checking it every day and giving it a little TLC. Spread a little healing. Lovely. Okay. So this is also good for weight loss. So people that want to lose weight, really helps to have a good abdominal massage in order to make sure that everything's functioning as it should, to be able to support that. So before I carry on, I'm just going to retest a couple of areas that weren't happy. Sorry, I know I've covered you up. So can you give me 2 fingers in here? Yeah, pokey fingers, yeah. And then raise this arm and hold. Okay, it's juddering slightly, but it's stronger than it was earlier. So I'm going to do something else for it, but it's better. So pokey fingers in there and hold. Okay, better. And then put 2 pokey fingers in here, yeah, and hold. Oh, let's try that again. And hold. Yeah, that's better. Okay, this Houston valve. So I'm just going to do 2 more here and hold. Oh, strong kidneys. And again, and hold. Strong adrenals. That's great. So that will help with energy levels and being able to cope with, well, with life, with whatever comes your way. Right, you can turn over. Okay, so can you bend this knee and raise the knee off the couch? I'm going to push here and hold. Great. Can you do the other one? Raise and hold. Okay. So it's a bit of a effort to have to do that, wasn't it? How's that feel there? Okay, let's do that one again and hold. That's stronger. Okay, and the other side and hold. Yeah, and I'm really pushing. So that's good because that was testing your glute maxes. Obviously you do some walking, don't you? So yeah, your glutes feel okay. Right, I think we've done all the testing now. I'm just going to get on and treat you. So this is the Tuina Chinese massage, using 2 hands on clothed body to massage, create some softness, fluidity, movement in the body. There's a nice shift of the pelvis. So as I'm working on this part of the spine, I notice that the pelvis is gently rocking from side to side. Of course, what we don't want is hypermobility there, which can also happen. We want some strength, that the spine isn't just completely letting go, and the erector spinae muscle, each side of it. But no, I think that feels good to me. So working around the sacrum, the very base of the spine, using my thenar muscle and thumb round that edge of the spine. And then using a row of fingers and the other thenar into the sides of the vertebrae. Does this feel okay, Helen? Yeah. Yeah, so this is the area we tested earlier, the T5, T6, and it was actually on your other side that was worse, about here. Yeah. So the reason I wanted to test that area is because it has direct correlation with the heart. And you won't mind me saying, will you, that you've had a little bit of investigation into your heart. Is that right? In the circulation? So is it angina? Yeah. So, and you're taking something for that, are you? Yeah. But you obviously are keeping tabs with it and making sure that your blood pressure doesn't get too high. But as soon as you mentioned that to me, I knew I wanted to test the lat dorsi test, latissimus dorsi, and that's the one with your straight arm when I asked you to tuck in and I was pulling away, because that has a bearing on the heart. So I had a feeling that your T5, T6 might be out of alignment. And as you say, it looks like it is on your right hand side around here. So I'm just instilling a little movement, shifting the soft fascia at the moment around the sides of the sacrum, into the glutes. A little bit of tightness here, there in the lower glute, but it's not too bad. I've seen far worse. And it's really nice to push directly on the sacrum as well, get some warmth, movement there. And then into the waist. So this is the lumbar and the obliques. There's a really good shift there, nice and warm. Yeah, it's good heat there. So yeah, I'm working on the muscle here as well, and over the ribs, making sure the ribs are giving. A little bit tight there, so that's about T11 around the bra line area. Okay, up to the neck, or there. Yeah, so that's about T2. So how would you feel if I gave you some cupping today, Helen? Yeah, you'd like that. Okay. So I'm going to introduce some of that oil again. So this has still got the ginger and the frankincense in from the abdominal massage earlier. And introducing it to your neck, shoulders, back. I've opened the window so we can hear the birds now. Is that a raised mole there? What? Yeah? Okay. I probably have to be careful cupping on that, so I'll just avoid that little bit. Does it hurt at all? Nothing at all? Okay. Is it changing shape? You keep an eye on it? Yeah, okay. It's not dark, it's just sort of skin colour really, isn't it? Do you ever get a massage? It's funny, isn't it? Do you know anyone that, well, I suppose me, but do you know you wouldn't want to do a swap with someone?
I did suggest it to somebody not long ago, but I've never got round to getting a detail, so no.
Okay. Yeah, I've got a swap going with a couple of people. It's quite a nice arrangement.
It's a good idea, it really is.
Then it's free.
Yes.
Yeah, well, sort of free. Okay, so introducing the first cup, just warming it up, checking it on my inner arm. That's it, it's coming here. Oh, I can hear the lambs outside. They've just been introduced into the field behind, and they're tiny at the moment, but I know from every year they grow so quickly. So I try and take photos while they're little. And I love watching them run in groups along the hedgerows. And then their mothers get a bit agitated and they start calling them back. Is this feeling okay? So just doing a little flash cupping. It's amazing, everyone takes to cupping so differently. Like I say, I've got this 11-year-old girl who loves cupping, and then I've got a lad in his 20s that came yesterday that was screaming like a baby, bless him. But he went out happy because his backache had gone. So that was a good result. Second cup going on. So I will be working on the whole back. I always think it's best to work on the whole spine, but I will be interested particularly with the T5, T6 area, and I'm avoiding this raised mole here. So we tend to come down the back. And it's a beautiful action when the vacuum created by the heat in the cup pulls the fascia into the cup nice and smoothly. Lovely. So if you're going to be wearing strappy tops this weekend, because it's going to be 20 degrees this Easter, you might want to show off some of your cup marks. Having said that, you haven't really got any marks to speak of at the moment. Not too bad. Oh, that was a good one. So, just going to work a little on that T5, T6 area. Oh, this cup's gone really hot. Does it feel okay for you? Yeah. Lovely. So I've got a couple on the kidneys. So a couple on the kidneys, couple each side of the highest part of the sacrum, 2 on the thoracics, or no, three on the thoracics, I think we can get another in there. I need another flame. Okay, one coming up here. Yeah, there we are. That'll help free up your neck, so I can work on it later. No, they're looking good, nice and rosy. There we are. Yeah, that will also help with the T's, the T5, T6s. Nice warm towel on you. Okay, just gonna have a look at your legs and your feet. Oh, that bird sound. We're in bright sunshine here, but I can see in the distance there's a lot of grey cloud. I don't know if it's on the way. So just checking out the foot, making sure I can relieve some of that tension I can feel in there, introducing a little fluidity, softness, especially around the base of the big toe, which is the neck in reflexology and Chinese terms. So a little movement. That's it, getting the joint moving. Quite often it clicks at this point, but that's okay. And then the clicks go, shifting the ball of the foot down, getting some bounce to it. Fantastic. And then thumb at the solar plexus, just where I've been working on the abdomen. And then creating movement around the solar plexus. That's it. Encouraging the foot to take on 3 parts, upper, middle and lower, so that the upper foot can move separate to the middle. That's good. And then the upper and middle can move separate to the lower at the heel. That's good. It's coming, it's coming. There we are. And then holding each side, particularly on the acupressure points that are key for whole body health. Shifting the toe in and using the leg as a lever to work on the pelvis and the spine. So this is called leg repatterning. A little bit of a misnomer, it's just that we're using the leg as a lever to work on the pelvis. There we are. Oh yeah, there's actually more movement here with the right foot. So the big toe moving beautifully. No clicks actually. And then shifting the ball down and out and around. Clearing down to the bladder from the kidney in the reflexology terms. And then introducing that movement, compartmentalizing the foot. So we've got the upper moving separate to the middle, one way and then the other, and then the upper and middle moving separate to the base. Wonderful. Create some warmth. Locate the acupressure points. Shifting the leg in order to lock it into the pelvis. And then beautiful movement. And the older we get, this is harder to achieve, but we've got a nice shifting pelvis here. As I move this, so it should rise on the left hand side as I move the right leg outwards. There we are, lovely. 2 legs together for a sacral fix. Relax, 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 relax. Let them go, let them go. I've got you, I'm not going to drop you. Lovely. Nice and heavy legs, feet, hips. Let them go, let them go. Lovely, let them go, let them go. That's it, that's it. I know it's really hard to let someone else move your body. And then working on a sacral float, where I've got 2 hands together, overlapping. Just very gently, not pushing, very gently placed onto the sacrum, with the fingers pointing upwards, directing the energy up towards the very top of the cerebral spinal fluid as it does pulse through the S2, the sacral number 2 of the sacrum, back up the spine, around the brain, and back down the spine again as it feeds its way through S2. And with that pulse, which pulses about every 8 seconds-ish, different in everyone, and it should create a little resonance, like a vibration, and that resonance will make the sacrum very gently rock. And even though my lovely cousin Helen has got all these cups on her, which are probably quite tight and doing their work. A nice suction action. But the feeling of the resonance of that cerebral spinal fluid pulse will still be felt, even though it's quite subtle. And sometimes for some people, this sacral float can be the most important part of a treatment. Sometimes this part can actually take 15-20 minutes of an hour's treatment, because it's all about setting the right pace. And for some, this is the only time that they will switch off, that they will completely relax, let go, and be in tune with their bodies. It's such a wonderful feeling just to be at one with your own body. And for some, we never really tune into that, never find that place, that peace. But to have a sacral float is one of those times. Peaceful. There's a very gentle noise of the towel as it moves minutely over the cups with Helen's breathing. Such a gentle, lovely noise. The heat there now is quite warm, quite intense, right at the base of the spine, sending messages up the rest of the spine to the cranium and the brain. Beautiful. Now just holding the back of the head and the sacrum together, the top and bottom of the spine of the cerebral spinal fluid. Letting it go, letting it pulse. Until feel a huge release. Wonderful. So just moving these cups around before taking them off in order to use their suction action to massage deep within that shoulder. Coming round to the other side, see if it produces the same effect. Is that all right, Helen? So I'm using two hands to move it, as there's quite a lot of suction there, and it's creating a lovely rosy effect. There we are. And now on this T5, T6, holding it on the shoulder, and the other one coming round to the base of the neck. Oh yeah, lovely. Okay, massaging over the thoracics, making sure each vertebra isn't holding on to the one next to it, nor subluxated. That feels good there. Okay, so around the kidney area, the solar plexus, ribs, lungs, really good for breathing. Helps us take deeper breaths to cup this area. Nice strong cups. And a couple at the sacrum, so they're quite pale here compared to the others. The others are just nicely rosy. I don't think they're going to leave much cup mark actually. Maybe those new ones on the shoulders might. But yeah, this is good, creating some nice rosiness around the top of the hips, into the waist. That's a nice strong one. And then over the middle of the sacrum, down each side of the hip. Lovely. Good massage. Feel okay, Helen? Good. So when I do the lat dorsi test later at the end of the treatment, just to check those that failed at the start, hopefully we'll have some passes there. That's great. And then the shoulders. Oh yeah, you might have a couple of marks from the shoulders. Or I don't know, it's just nicely rosy. Lovely. So what I'm doing now is just, if you like, colouring in where there's pale fascia, because I want to make sure that the circulation is reaching everywhere. So that's mainly the lower, like the sacrum, the waist, the hips, because the middle and upper back is now nicely rosy. So just going around that waist area and up the spine. Lovely. Up and down the spine. And across, shifting each vertebra separately. Great. Nice. So, would you like a warm towel over you?
Yes.
Yeah. There we are. Yeah. So I'm just going to give your legs a little stretch. Oh, click, click. Have a little feel of your hips. How are they feeling now?
Much better.
Yeah? Good, that's that cupping. And how's this area feeling? I mean, it was alright, it felt okay before anyway, but I'm just going to give it a little TLC. In fact, what I'd really like to do is get my hand underneath, which might be tricky. So can I just try and, oh, yep, get there, that's it, lovely, okay. So, I know you're open-minded, you'll go with this. So I'd like you to tune into your heart energy. Think about a colour. What colour are you seeing? Green. Now I want you to repeat 3 times with an out breath. Oh, that feels so much better. See it shifting from side to side. Wonderful, it's not stuck anymore. All those upper thoracics. Fantastic. That's good. Okay, and let go. Lovely. Just how you feel of each cervical vertebra, checking its integrity and placement, and the spinal processes. A little bit of tightness here. That's normal. Well, it shouldn't be, but it's very common. Yeah, okay. So this is probably why, with the pitch roll and your test earlier on, this one was difficult to pass, probably because of this area here. But it's moving, that's a good sign. Okay, around to the other side. Okay, and just checking this side of the spine, the neck, from T1 up, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 2 is a bit tight, and then the processes like arms either side of each vertebra that stretch out, supporting the neck like scaffolding. Again, it's the upper ones, so it's about T2, 3 that are fixed. They need to just loosen off and release their grip so that the muscle and soft fascia around them just let go and release. That's good. And a little feel each side. That's good. So then the head is responding. That's good. It's moving like a wave-like motion rather than a steel rod. So it's moving wave-like. Fantastic. Oh, that's the one. Just let that go for a while. So I've just got a couple of fingers on the left side of C2, and I'm letting gravity do the work for me so that Helen's head will very slowly and gently release to the left as my fingers are pressing on the left side, pushing right. It's going nice and slowly, like a hundredth of a millimetre at a time, just really, really gentle relaxation, letting go, letting go. Another little check what the neck's doing. And now a neck stretch by using the shoulder to lever a stretch on and around the neck. This is quite a strong stretch. And the other way, little bounce, using my base of my hand and wrist into the corner of the neck shoulder, pushing down, using fingers into the base of the occiput, and then a nice stretch. This really helps with flexibility, mobility, any neck cricks and clicks should feel much looser after something like this. Yeah, lovely. Ooh. Okay, another neck release. Working on that joint above C1, cervical 1, and allowing the head just to go heavy, 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 heavy. Release, release, release. Great. Feels good. Okay, and just a little bit of cranial work to finish the treatment. Feeling the energy of the occiput and the temporals. The occiput is the base of the back of the head, and the temporals are the side around the ear and sides of the head. And the two bones, occiput and temporals, have a connection, a strong connection with the very base of the spine, at the coccyx, at the base of the sacrum. They need each other to be well, and if not, then they won't be well themselves. So every time we treat the spine, we also make sure we treat the occiput and temporals. They're called Lovett brothers. So for every vertebra there is another bone or vertebra that needs attention. It's its brother. And this is coming loose, it's coming soft. There's a beautiful resonance, a lovely energy to it now. A beautiful softness, letting go.